that has shown 19% of girls in the 6th grade say that they don't feel confident about themselves or their environment. By the time those same girls get to the 10th grade, their self-esteem levels are much lower, and only 6% say that they feel confident. For boys in the 6th grade, 37% indicated that they feel confident, but the number drops to 12% by the time they reach the 10th grade. So low self-esteem is a problem for our youth. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is simply how we perceive ourselves. It's how we think about the way we look, the way we are, how smart we are, how popular we are, our athletic skills, and even the money we make. Children are a reflection of the adults that surround them. Whether you like it or not, if you are in contact with young people, they are watching. It doesn't matter how young they are watching. Adults, we must step up to the plate and make some changes. Our society is in trouble. We must show our young people the way to go. You can't act one way, talk another. You have to walk the walk with the kids. They're very hard to fool. You can't pretend with a child because they're going to see right through you. Adults, you must show them the way. Parents, you must take responsibility and act the way that you want your child to act. A lot of things come into play in developing a youth's self-esteem. Social media. Social media has some good points, obviously, but it is terrible on the other hand. Our youth see movie stars, actors, they see influencers who get on the social media and tell them this is what you need to do, this is how you need to be, this is what you need to wear, this is what you need to buy. They're not interested in your child's self-esteem. They're interested in making money for themselves. And that is what's influencing our children and helping to develop the way that they look at themselves. Now, any adult knows that movie stars have an entourage of people who do their makeup, who do their clothes, who do their food, who do their media or their PR for them. Children don't realize that all the time, and they think, well, if this is what I'm supposed to be wearing, this is what I need to wear. I see young girls come in my clinic, and they're barely covered. I really don't need to give them a dressing gown for their exam because I can see everything I need to see with the clothes that they're wearing. And I think this is really not good. Then I see their mothers come in a few weeks later, and they're dressed pretty much the same. Children are a product of their environment. Now, ideally, we would love for there to be a mom and a dad in a home with plenty of food and water and electricity, enough money for clothes and a few extras, but that's not the way it is today. Many children are raised by one parent. Sometimes they're raised by a grandparent. And the parent is struggling to make ends meet. They're working extra jobs. They come home, they're depressed, they're anxious, they're irritable. They may smoke a little weed. They may have a couple of cocktails, and the kids think this is normal life because that's all they see. And that's what they interpret to be normal. Academic stress. Some kids are having trouble in school and they act out to compensate for their lack of doing well in school. Their athletic skills may not be up to par. Family issues. When a man and a woman are fighting or having some real problems at home, it translates to the children. They see that their mother is unhappy or their dad is not always around and doing well. They understand that there's a problem. And As a result, they may act out, they may try to get away from home, they may want to change the environment the best way they know how, and they are not equipped with the skills to do those things. So, how can we build self esteem in our children? All right, kids, if you're out there and listening, listen up. This is the way to do it. Don't compare yourself to others. Just don't do it. You are a unique individual. You have skills and talents that others don't have. You can't all be alike. Now, I'm not 100 years old just yet, and I remember back when I was a young girl, and we all liked to dress the same. If somebody had a new outfit and it was really popular, we all wanted that or something similar to it. And we would do whatever it took to get it. Nag our parents, complain, until we made them feel so bad that they figured out a way to get it. Don't compare yourself to others. Be unique. Now, I know it's going to take you a while to grasp that concept, but you've got to do it. Otherwise, you're just going to blend in, be part of the crowd, and the crowd that you run with shapes your future. You may get in trouble. Say one of the people in your group shoplifts and you get caught. All of you are going down to the police station, and you will have that on your history. Either whether you're charged or not, it's still known to the general public. Oh, yeah, I remember her. She was shoplifting and got caught. Be unique. If your friends are doing things that you don't feel comfortable doing, go the other way. Be unique. Be yourself. Identify your strengths and opportunities. All of us don't have the same strengths. I know when I was growing up, there was a show on the television, and many of you aren't old enough to remember this show, but it was called Solid Gold. And they had great music, they had great dancers, and I wanted to be a solid gold dancer when I grew up. Well, that was absolutely not one of my strengths because the dancers were beautiful women who were about 5'8" to 5'10". They had gorgeous hair. They had gorgeous clothes. They could move well. They had these ballerina type bodies. Well, then here I come along wanting to be a solid gold dancer, and I barely top 5'3". I have more of a muscular type build. Hair is not my greatest attribute. And so I just didn't have the strengths to be a solid gold dancer. Never mind that my dad was the Church of Christ preacher in town and dancing wasn't one of his fortes. So that was something that was off the books for me. But it didn't keep me from wanting to be one. It just wasn't an opportunity or a strength that I had. Be open to change. Always keep an open mind and be willing to try something new. Who knows? You may love it. I started out in my career as an interior designer. That was what my first degree was in. I love art. I love fixing things, making them look pretty. But I also like to eat and have gas in my car. And I realized right away that if I wanted to eat regularly, I better get a job that paid regularly. And that's when I went into medicine. And I found that, you know what, I really do like this. Now, I don't particularly like sick medicine. If you're throwing up or you've got diarrhea or you're really sick, I'm going to be throwing up right there beside you because that's just not my thing. But I found a field of medicine that I really enjoy, and that is helping women have the best health they can have and helping them to empower themselves. So keep an open mind to change, kiddos, because there's always something out there that you might like to do that you don't know that you like until you try it. Be realistic. Know what you can and can't do. Now, I love golf. I love gymnastics. When I was in school, I was a gymnast at the University of Tennessee. It was something that I was good at, but I wasn't so good at other sporting activities. I wasn't a great runner. I was too slow. I don't know that I was even energetic enough to be a runner. But I looked at what I could do, and I tried to do it the best I could. And I know you can too. I see some fabulous runners out there. I see some gymnasts. I see uh, g- great skills among you. Surround yourself with a support squad. There's always somebody that's going to be cheering for you and rooting for you in your corner. And those are the people you need to hang with. If somebody's always jealous of your successes, if someone is always talking you down, bringing out the negative, well, yeah, you ran a good race, but the other team beat you because you were slow, and so maybe you want to try something else. Those aren't the people you need to be hanging with. You need to lift each other up and find a good support system. Now, usually you can always count on your mother. She's going to be cheering for you if you're the last one in the pack running. But find some friends who support you. Keep it positive. Negativism, there's something called the self-fulfilling prophecy. And that is, if you tell yourself something long enough, that's what's going to happen. And if you always are having negative thoughts, well, I'd like to enter the race, but I know I won't do well. I know I'll come in last or toward the end. That's what's going to happen. But if you tell yourself, hey, I'm good, I'm better than I think I am, and I might just win this race today because I'm going to try, that's what might happen. Be positive. Eliminate negativism from your brain and from your mouth. Don't down yourself. There's plenty of others out there watching you that are looking for an opportunity to do that for you. Don't do it to yourself. Someone tells you, hey, you really look good today. And women are bad to say, oh, this whole outfit, yeah, no. Just simply say, thank you. You made my day. Be positive. Do what you love. If you are doing something and you hate it, change. Don't spend time. Life is short, folks. Even if you are a young person, life is very short. It flies by. Make sure what you're doing is something that you enjoy doing. Live in the present. Now, all of us older people have a past that we don't particularly like brought up and we don't like to remember. We may have had relationships that didn't work out, and you look at the guy today and you think, what in the world was I thinking he was Mr. Wonderful? Let it go. If you failed at something or if you performed badly and you're beating yourself up because you didn't give it your best and you just not good with it, let it go. You can't change the past, but you can change the future. Don't let the past bring down your future aspects. Let it go. And there'll be plenty of people around that like to bring it up. Oh, I remember when we were down here and we were dancing on the bar and having a good time, and maybe had overindulged in the alcohol, and they're always going to bring that up. But that's not you today, so let it go. Share your feelings. Let people know how you feel. If you're having a bad day or a sad day, share it. Let people know. Now, be careful who you share with and don't overshare to those who are waiting to find something wrong, but have friends that you can confide in. Yeah, I really like that guy, but he's not into me, and I'm really sad about it, and it got me feeling some kind of way. Have somebody that you can talk to and share things with, because that's not good to keep all that inside. You need to bring it down. What are some of the effects of low self-esteem? Well, if you don't have a good self-esteem, you begin to avoid situations that might be a little bit difficult. Say you're in a relationship and the guy just has you feeling like you're nothing, and you realize, hey, this isn't going anywhere. I need to turn this off or get out of this situation. But you avoid doing that because your self-esteem is so low. You're thinking, well, if I leave him, I don't have anybody else. Now, you might surprise yourself. You become sensitive to criticism. When you have a low self esteem and someone tells you or corrects you in something that you've been doing that's not the best way to do it, you become real sensitive and defensive and, oh, I don't like them. They're not on my side. There is constructive criticism that only a friend or someone who cares for you will tell you. Be aware that they aren't always trying to bring you down or knock you over. They're trying to help you for your future, particularly your teachers, your educators. They spend a lot of time with you and they can see the people that surround you and they can see how you act or interact. And most of the time, these teachers are very concerned if they see that you aren't reacting in an appropriate way. And they may call you aside and speak to you out of love and concern. Anxiety can happen if you have a low self esteem. And anxiety, if someone's constantly berating you, telling you all the things you're doing wrong, but not things you're doing right, or you get negative feedback on everything, it can make you anxious where that you don't feel that you can move forward because you might make the wrong decision. Now, I am lucky in or blessed in the fact that anxiety has never been an issue. My take on life is, hey, let's give it a try. What's the worst thing that can happen? I can fail, so I get up and start all over and do something else. But some people don't have that outlook and they're afraid to try things because they're afraid to fail. Hey, at this point in my life, I've heard the word no, not happening, many times. But I'm fine. I just found a different way. I always tell someone in a business situation that I really want to happen, don't tell me no. Tell me how it can be done to get a yes. Make that your thought process. Don't worry about failure. Failure is just a teaching mechanism to help you succeed. Another thing when you have a low self esteem is frequently you withdraw. You don't go out with your friends. You avoid your family. It's just a bad thing. So let's talk about some tips to improve your self esteem. Say you have a little bit, but you don't have a lot. Challenge those bad thoughts about yourself. If somebody's been telling you, you're fat, that those clothes don't look good on you because you're so fat. Well, challenge that thought. Yeah, you're thinking, yeah, I'm fat. My belly sticks out, my butt's wide, my thighs are thick. What can I do about it? Well, you can sit and eat and get fatter and thicker, but that's not the desired goal. Challenge those thoughts to come up with ways, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times this week, or I'm going to cut out Oreo cookies this week. And little by little, you'll improve and you'll start to think, hey, I can do that, so let's add something else to it. Take care of yourself. I have women in my office regularly who come in tears because they are at the point where their low self-esteem has just affected their whole life. They have trouble getting out of bed. They have trouble taking a bath, washing their hair, putting on clean clothes, taking care of their family. They just feel like they're a failure. And I've seen kids, this happened to you too. You're not doing well in school. You didn't make the team. You didn't make the cheerleading squad. Nobody seems to invite you out to the popular places to go. So you just kind of think, well, forget it. I'm a failure. And you let yourself go. Don't do that. Learn to relax. Our world is a busy world. We have lots going on, kids and adults. So find something that helps you take your mind off of this current situation, whether it's reading, whether it's going roller skating or playing football or just anything that makes you forget the problems of the world It might just be kicking back in a lounge chair with a glass of iced tea and thinking about nothing, watching a cartoon, who knows. Set goals for yourself. You do need some goals to aspire to. Otherwise, you're just going to be floating around out there in the world and letting whatever happens happen. Have a goal. Even if it starts with just one goal, have that goal set so that you have something to aim for. You didn't make the team this year, so next year my goal is to make the team. So what is it going to take for me to do that? Figure it out, and that's what you need to do. One of the best ways to help your self-esteem is by helping someone else. Help a friend out. Say you have a friend who is moving into a new apartment and they need help. It will help you to help them. Go help them pack. Go help them carry boxes. If you see an older person, take them a bouquet of flowers that you picked off the side of the road. Anytime you help someone, it immediately boosts the way that you feel about yourself. Learn to look at a different perspective. Now, in my office, I am partnered with some younger nurses who are excellent nurses and nurse practitioners. I've been doing the medical thing for about 50 years. Obviously, what I was trained on isn't what they were trained on. They are into the computer world. When I started, we used a pencil and a paper. I would examine a person and I would go and sit and write in their chart notes about what was going on. Today, they carry computers. And when they have an exam take place, they just punch buttons and there it is written in the computer. I'm learning to do that, not by choice, but I'm learning. I still like my pencil and paper, but I had to take a different perspective on healthcare in order to keep up. We send prescriptions now over the internet. I could sit and call the pharmacy and give them the prescription, but it's much faster to type it in the computer, push a button, and there it goes. So you do have to learn to take new perspectives on things. Say you've been doing something the same way for a long while, uh, and it's not working anymore, or it's not the best way. Keep an open mind. Try new things. You may end up liking them better. I'm learning to like the e-scribe, they call it, to send prescriptions over the internet. But I still like my pencil and paper, and I probably always will. Surround yourself with people who make you feel good. Again, I can't stress to you enough, your home environment. Parents, do your best to make the environment of your children something that they look forward to coming home to, that helps to boost their self-esteem, to help build their self-esteem, and to make them happy, productive individuals. A happy child is not a child who carries a gun looking for someone to kill or to shoot or to rob. It starts at home, folks, and we've got to pay attention to that. Do your best and let God take care of the rest. This is Susan Bentley. It's always a pleasure to talk with you on The Real World of Women with Susan Bentley. And next week, we'll get back to topics associated with female health care. But all women are affected by a self-esteem. I want it to be a good, healthy self-esteem. If you need me, you can find me over at Options Wellness in Muscle Shoals, or you can contact the Music Muscle of the Shoals, which is 105.1 FM. I look forward to seeing you on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Thank you for listening.